everyone. Welcome in tonight. Thanks for joining us here on Dom Time. Happy New Year, and in the Philadelphia Public Schools, Happy New Year reading, writing, and condom dispensers. We're going to pull up and show you at home what's going on in select Philadelphia Public Schools. That's right, condom dispensers now, where whether parents opt in, opt out, it doesn't seem to matter. Students as young as 14 will be able to go to the handy condom dispenser. I don't know if you go between lunch, after school, whenever it happens, and get a condom, because the Philadelphia Public Health Department says if a teenager wants a condom, a teenager should have a condom. Joining us tonight to talk about this, and we want to take a lot of calls on it, we'll talk about the overall issue of condoms to protect teenagers, the effectiveness of that, what some of the studies indicate. But really, this is a different step for the Philadelphia Public Schools. The particulars are this, that the schools say they see an uptick in condom use. In fact, one study that we have says that it goes up from about 52% in one study to 58%. Is that 6%, my question tonight, worth it? Are you giving up anything else when you put condom dispensers in the schools? Joining us on my left tonight is James Wilson Jr. James is a motivational speaker all over the Delaware Valley and a former student of mine, which I reminded me of tonight. On my right is Natasha Warner. Natasha is a blogger and someone who has a lot of experience working with young people, and they are both motivators, people that talk about motivating youth. Yet James is against the condom dispensers, and Natasha maybe sees it as a sign of the time. So, as we always do here when we disagree a little bit, let's start with Natasha. Tell me why, Natasha, when you see this 6% increase, is that enough to make you say, yeah, let's go with condom dispensers?
Well, let me start off with this. It's really a sad reality that we even have to have this conversation. But the reality is our kids are having sex. And the reality is that many of them don't strap up or use condoms when they're not available. So I do believe that, unfortunately, I think this is a good idea, if that makes sense, that we do have to provide our kids with some form of protection so that we can eliminate.
Well, let me get to it, though. How about the parent, though, in this? I'm a parent of two. Are you a parent,
parent
Natasha?
of three, yes.
Okay, do you not want what you say goes with your kids when they're 14?
I do.
To be the rule? Well, here in the public schools, they're not. They're saying, we're not going to look at your opt-in letter, your opt-out letter. They're here, the dispenser's there, the kid can get them, that's it.
I mean, I agree that parents should have a say. However, the reality, once again, is we can tell our kids what we want them to do,
Right.
but the reality is the kids are going to do what they want to do. And we've seen that. We're not we can't continue to raise our kids the way that our parents raised us. Kids are going to find the access that they need to get those, either the condoms or they won't, but they're going to have sex, unfortunately.
Okay, James, do you think that? I mean, come on, we're in this 2013 now. Kids are going to have sex. We have the statistics from these schools. So if we can prevent one case of STD, severe STD, or pregnancies or whatever, isn't this a good idea?
I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think we're actually solving the problem. I think we're actually perpetuating it, because you have a ton of youth now that are dealing with so many issues that go beyond STDs. We're not dealing with the emotional aspects of sex. So I think that one of the things that we're doing as lawmakers, as citizens, is that we're looking at this thing. It's a jungle, and we're looking at it from a helicopter view. So all we're seeing right now are the trees, but we're not really getting to the dirt, the gristle, the grime, and the roots of the issue. And the roots of some of those issues in these communities, there's a lot of fatherlessness. In these communities, there's a lot of emotional wounds that need to be talked about more than STDs.
Yeah, but in the meantime, though,
yeah,
we don't want them creating more kids. We don't want 14-year-olds being fathers, and we don't want to have any more STDs. And by the studies, some of these schools are pretty rampant. So what's your point then? What should the Philadelphia Public Schools be doing today? They have the condom dispensers there, and they're saying, they're not telling the kids to have sex, but they're saying if you're going to, take a few for the weekend.
Well, one of the things I think that they need to have it needs to be a better system of checks and balances. So somebody needs to be monitoring it, first of all, and second of all, there needs to be an education piece behind it. So not just, I mean, we need to go to school for 4 years in order to get a job. Why aren't these kids being put through some type of education program telling them not just about your organs and what they do, but let's talk about what goes into having sex.
All right, let's go to some callers right away. 866-472-8868 gets you in. I want to hear from parents. I want to hear from many young people we have watching. Is this an effective thing? Let's go to Tom. Tom is with us here on Dom Time. Hey, Tom, welcome in.
Good evening, Dom, and good evening to your guests. I mean, if the theory is they're going to do it anyway, but what about the guys who need a little bit of help? Why can't they arrange some dates for them?
All right, Tom. Thank you, Tom, very much. Natasha, we're going to hear from callers, though, saying that effectively this is not the way to go, that this is something that is just going to create more difficulty. Again, I take you back to, doesn't it offend you as a parent? It offends me as a parent that the parent ought to be the decision maker here, right? Or do you think the teenager? The teenager's the decision maker here. That's what the school's saying.
Well, the reality, once again, is we can give our child an iPod. For example, my daughter got she's 10 years old, she got an iPod. Great,
Right.
she listens to her music, but unfortunately now those iPods allow her to go on the internet. So our kids have access to the information.
I know, but I mean, should the school
But
be helping you reinforce it as a parent at home? This is my
I think
major
that's
part of
already
the
been
thing.
done. I think we've already had our sex education classes.
No, I mean, are they reinforcing the parent? If I, as a parent, say, I don't want my kid having sex, don't want him having condoms,
But
should the
the-
school then say, well, the reality is they are, so let's help them?
And I think the statistics show that the kids are having sex. The STD rates are ridiculous. So the reality is the kids are having sex. I think it's only sensible, unfortunately, that we have to provide them with some type of protection.
All right, who should decide here is the question. 866-472-8868, 866-472-8868. Should the school decide, or the parents? Will take more of your calls coming up. And we'll give you some more facts around this of what happens when you put condom dispensers in the public schools.